Meet me at the Chazen. I'm your host, Gianofer Fields. As the title suggests, our current exhibit, Insistent Presence, Contemporary African Art from the Chazen Collection, contains some works living in other galleries in the museum prior to being moved to the Rolling Gallery for the exhibition. Exodus by Cameroonian artist Barthélémy Toguo resided in Gallery 13 at the Chazen until being carefully moved by our preparators to its current resting place in the exhibition. When I recorded this bit of audio, it was not my intention to produce a podcast. I was really just being nosy. In my opinion, curiosity never supersedes the need for others to complete their tasks, so I tried to time my questions in a way that did not disrupt their work. I also didn't address anybody by name during the recording. However, once the sculpture was secure in its new temporary home, I did my due diligence.
My name is John Berner. I'm a preparator at the Chazen Museum of Art.
Hi, I'm Roscoe Ford. I'm a preparator at the Chazen Museum of Art.
And I'm Kate Wamberg, the Exhibition and Collections Project Manager at the Chazen Museum of Art.
I am Margaret Nagawa. I'm the guest curator for Insistent Presence, the exhibition that's coming up.
The following is part interview, part ASMR, and let's be real here, mostly nosiness. Somebody describe for me what this is, because I'm just so that we can give a visual. Like, what are we looking at? What is this?
I like the tan. You live with it. We have a Raleigh bicycle here, yellow in color, a nice warm yellow, and it's pulling a cart, a wooden cart, that is filled with bandos wrapped in what is often called African print fabrics or wax print fabrics. And underneath that are what is often called on the continent China bags, because often they're manufactured in China and people generally trade between Asian countries and Africa and they load them up with goods to bring back from the trading. So, and it's all wrapped together or held in place by a rope. On the sides of that is hanging a plastic kettle. Again, not to put on the fire, but just to carry water, and a broom, which you often find in markets. It's a very common item across the continent to sweep the compound outdoors. Yeah. So this is by Barthélémy Toguo from Cameroon.
And the title of the work?
Exodus.
I knew you were the right person to speak about it.
Yeah.
That was so elegant. I was like, yeah, obviously.
I think you live with it. You've seen people throw it. I would like to hear your perspective. This is so tactile and enticing. I want to hold it.
Yeah, I think a lot of visitors want to touch this piece because it looks so like functional, right? That all of the objects are things that visitors are familiar with in some way, and the prints are so vibrant in the fabric that they just want to reach out.
So then to move this, will you have to take all the bundles and stuff off? No.
Well, we discussed it. We talked about possibly doing that, but we ultimately decided that it seems like a whole lot of unnecessary work to be like pulling all of these just to kind of like transport it downstairs. You know, I think if we were shipping it, of course, we'd move it to being safer than.
And then with something like this, is this grouping the artist's work? And would you be changing the artist's work if you took it apart and regrouped it?
So it was delivered in pieces, and we had to put it together based on like a few photographs that were given to us. The tricky part is that rope that goes through every single one of them, being able to figure out the way that those all sit together so that like they form that full bunch where there isn't any holes, and then that rope can also pass all the way through all of them. It's really tricky. It takes a long time to get it right.
Girl, you do not have a bicycle pump in this museum. This is crazy.
Well, someone's got to pump up the tires.
Yep.
It lives in my office. It was mine. That I got from home.
Dedication.
So then, is that a concern? I mean, eventually, if the tire keeps going flat, is it going to be replaced? Is it kind of like the Oldenburg screw, where no matter what happens to it, it may or may not retain its value in quotation marks?
Yeah, I mean, rubber in general will age over time, and so it'll get like stiff and brittle. So we definitely could just replace the tire if needed, and we would try to match, you know, like this tire is actually a different tire than the tire on the back. There's like a white line that goes along that. We could also potentially replace the tubes, but they're not leaking air at a really fast rate. It's just like a normal rate for a bicycle.
Yeah.
Like,
You
you
leave
know.
your bike in the garage for the winter, and you come back in it's spring, and
Yeah.
you gotta pump them up.
But then is that
Guys, what's
still?
summer air in tires?
But is that still part of the work of art then? Like, doesn't it change the work of art?
I think because this is a found object, it's like the idea of the bicycle is more important than the actual individual parts of the bicycle. So I think as long as it's visually the same and in the spirit of what the artist selected, we're still in the spirit of the artwork as a whole.
And I think it kind of like falls into the line of like conservation, where like you do infilling on a painting that's been damaged. It's not the original paint, but like the intention is when you put that new infilling in, that like you're matching what was there as closely as you can to possible in order to like reflect what the original work was.
So I'm guessing you're not going to attach a scooter to this and call it a day.
No.
I mean, I'm
Maybe
not
one of
against
those new electric scooters
Oh,
we
yeah,
saw
yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
it. Giant wheels.
Although I don't know what the PSI on these types are. I suppose they would, but it's probably like 80, it will be fine.
Yeah,
I never
this
thought I
one's
would see
90.
this in a gallery. Well, actually, I never thought I'd be able to be behind the scenes enough to see this thing actually move.
Yeah.
But to watch you pumping up tires,
Is it 60 yet? Did you find it?
It's 90 on.
90? Okay, I think if we do 80 on both, it'll be good.
You got some cool noises today.
yeah. I'm waiting for somebody to ring the bell.
I don't think we've ever rung
No, we
that.
haven't.
Well, one that's in place downstairs. The other thing we might have to think about is oiling this chain.
I mean,
It's getting really rusty.
yeah, it was rusty when it got here.
Yeah. I'll send Dave in. He's my bike mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can do it, but it's also a little tricky. Also, the derailleur here. Well, it's not a gear. It's a like a rubber grommet system instead of like a series of gears. Weird.
Would you eventually get to the point where you just would carry it and not even wheel it?
Potentially. I like wheels though. They make our lives a lot easier.
Yeah. Especially when it has like big, comfortable wheels like that, it's gonna be like
Yeah.
less shock to any of this as we move it.
So then what's the plan? What's the plan of moving it?
Well, I hop on the seat and then pedal away.
We peel out on a wheelie?
I think we'll detach the bike and wheel that separately so that both, because I don't think it'll.
Huh? Oh no, that was the.
Oh, I was like, what is that noise? That was. Hi, good morning, Margaret.
Good morning, good morning.
So yeah, I think we'll detach the bike so that it'll fit in the elevator, and we'll bring them separate. We might be able to get both in the elevator once they're detached.
Yeah.
And then we'll get a couple people on this so that it's stable. And just wheel it very slowly into the freight elevator and down to the rolling gallery.
Yeah.
So come on this journey with us.
I'm just delighted at how calm you are, because I literally had a nightmare last night that my bike was stolen.
Oh no.
And when I found it, it was here. And nobody would let me take my bike because they said it was a work of art. And so I was just crying and screaming like, there's pictures of me with it in my kitchen.
It's really funny. I watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure last
Oh.
night, which is all about Pee-wee like losing his bike in his adventure and trying to find it. So
It's at the Alamo.
yeah, in the basement.
In the basement.
I didn't bike in today.
Yeah.
No.
I almost did, and then I realized that it was getting late, and
But
I
I'm
was
still
like,
in a good mood. So. It's not a
Marvin
Monday.
says, uh-oh.
just learned that bit of information, and you've already dove right into
Winter
it.
is terrible here. I'm just kidding.
There's nothing.
Totally kidding. Totally kidding.
All right.
I think maybe let's put the kickstand up, and then. There we go. And then, yeah,
Yep.
perfect. Margaret, do you want the honor of wheeling the bicycle?
We look up and she's just going through the gallery. She's taking off.
Okay, yeah, that's a great idea. Can you do that bike pump in the elevator? Thank you.
Can I write down with? Is there room for all of us in here?
Yes. There should be.
And John was saying that we'll bring you to push. Okay, ready? Up, stop. We got grass in this area here. So let's use some maybe reposition this for the travel.
Yeah.
And then we'll,
Bring it down.
let's just keep an eye on that as we go into the threshold. We might need to hold on to it.
You want to go in front first, or? That is all the way.
And then Roscoe, you.
Yes.
I'm gonna bring the cart. I think it can fit.
We'll come back.
Yeah, we can come grab it.
I've got it.
Got it?
Operate the elevator. There we go. Hand on the bike.
Cool. The wrong one.
Where did you? Oh,
One mirror.
Oh, that's okay. You can just open the front doors and say.
So this is Frank, the freight elevator.
Frank the freight elevator?
Yeah. Frank is ornery,
He's ornery.
uncooperative sometimes.
Well, if you keep talking about him like that, I would be too.
He's earned the reputation. He knows why we talk about him the way we do.
Yeah, I guess us ornery folks know we're ornery.
There's a reason I like Frank.
There's an art to it. I try to tell people there's an art to being ornery and there's an art to being petty.
All right, we're going this direction
Yeah.
towards me.
Yep.
In case there was
Yep.
Okay, so we can come maybe towards me. Do we want to tap something up?
I mean, I can just hold on to it.
Okay.
Yeah, trying to not be.
I think it's going to have to come just a bit, like this way.
Do you like this angle though?
Yeah. Which means no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, like just, I think it needs to be a little bit. Yeah. Seems better, and then we back up a bit. That there. We can start with it there.
Okay.
I can grab this if you want. Actually, Margaret, why don't you step back in that direction and take a look at it to see what you think? So I'm thinking we might need to turn even further. But
I would say not necessarily turning back, but sliding backwards a bit, so we're
Okay.
not in the way of our
these, yeah, okay.
just there.
Okay. And this is easily adjustable.
Yeah.
So once we kind of have everything in place, we can make changes. It's not very often that something this large is this easy to move.
Yeah. I'm very grateful for this.
I think the artist was thinking about us when he was making it.
That's not something that happens very often.
No. Yeah, it's highly functional. Yeah.
There's so many parts about it too that just make me want to shop.
Yeah.
Because the bags in the bottom is what we would call a grocery bag, like a recyclable grocery bag.
Yeah.
And then the bundles on top, if you sew, it's just like, this is heaven. But yeah, there's something that just makes you, there's a movement to it and an enticement, like you said, to it, that it's really hard to resist. Like
Got my jumpsuit made out of them.
Yeah.
And I thought this would take hours. I was like, oh, this is going to be crazy. They're going to take it all apart. They're going to put it
by
back.
far the easiest part of the whole exhibition. Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Well, I don't know if there's something else that's easier. I'd be fine with that too. Like, if this isn't the easiest thing, yeah, it's totally okay with me.
Are we good on placement? I wanted to run up and grab the cart real quick from.
Oh yeah, we've got. I think we leave it as is until this afternoon, and when we do the walkthrough and look at everything together, if we need to make subtle adjustments, we'll do it then. Feels great.
You've been listening to Meet Me at the Chazen. Our guests.
My name is John Berner. I'm a preparator at the Chazen Museum of Art.
Hi, I'm Roscoe Ford. I'm a preparator at the Chazen Museum of Art.
And I'm Kate Wamberg, the Exhibition and Collections Project Manager at the Chazen Museum of Art.
I am Margaret Nagawa. I'm the guest curator for Insistent Presence, the exhibition that's coming up.
Are the backbone of our current exhibition, Insistent Presence, Contemporary African Art from the Chazen Collection at UW-Madison's Chazen Museum of Art. Meet Me at the Chazen is a production of the Chazen Museum of Art on the campus of UW-Madison in Madison, Wisconsin. For more information about the museum, its collections and exhibitions, visit chazen.wisc.edu. I'm your host, Gianofer Fields. Thank you for listening. drop to her knees.